Hello and welcome students from Grammar 1. I'm Professor Carlos Diaz and this is just a summary from the first class we had, our first meeting, which took place on Monday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Venezuelan Standard Time. Our next meeting will be on Saturday from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. On Saturday, we may combine theory and practice. So this first class was basically theory about grammar and morphemes. So let's take a look at what we had. This is a short definition that we had about grammar. When you know a language, you are able to produce the sounds which signify certain meanings and understand the meanings of the sounds others produce. Okay, this is one of the plenty of definitions you can find on the internet. I encourage you, as I told the ones who were present during the session, to try and make your own definition about what grammar is, okay? So, here we have yet another one. Grammar is the structural foundation of our ability to express ourselves. So, grammar has many components, of course, but basically we work with phonology, syntax, semantics, and today's main topic, which is morphology. Here you have some other definitions for grammar. You may pause the video and take a look at each one of them. But of course, I repeat, try to create your own definition for grammar. Basically, what we have is prescriptive grammar versus descriptive grammar. Think about prescriptive grammar as what follows the rules. Okay, imagine when you go to a doctor and you feel sick, he says, okay, you have to take, these pills, take one every 8 hours. So there's a prescription, you have to follow it. That's basically what prescriptive grammar says. Now, descriptive grammar shows how people actually use a language. How they actually use a language. So they're basically trying to kill each other every time. And it will be our job to take a look at both of them since you're going to be English teachers, okay? So let's start with this. Morphology versus syntax. You may remember this design, or this is what we are going to have. So let's take a look at morphology. In morphology, the biggest grammatical unit with meaning, it's a word. For example, we have an adverb. Here, look at the word, independently. So if we analyze this word, we know it's an adverb. Because basically adverbs end on "ly." But here we are dissecting the word into morphemes. So morphemes are the minimum grammatical unit with the meaning. So this is a morpheme, this is another morpheme, and we have different types of morphemes. We're going to talk about them. In syntax, the biggest grammatical unit with meaning is the sentence. And the minimum grammatical unit with meaning is the word. Take a look at this example. Tom pushed the car. Okay, Tom is a noun phrase. Pushed is a verb phrase. And we have a noun phrase, the car. We're going to be talking about these during this subject, during the semester. These are the types of exercises. Please, please, please save this image. I shared it on our WhatsApp group. In case you don't have it, because maybe I added you after the class, ask your friends, those in the group, to resend the image, because this is a great summary of what linguistics is. We have phonetics, phonology, morphology, syntax, semantics, and pragmatics. All of these terms, you need to know what they are. Here you have a short explanation of each one. So please save this image. It will help you a lot during the career. Now let's talk about morphemes. There are two types of morphemes. We have bound morphemes and free morphemes. Bound morphemes, they need something else to have a meaning. So we have the affixes, which can be divided into derivational and inflectional. The derivational affixes are the prefixes and the suffixes. You might remember them from Spanish. And the inflectional are the suffixes. Among the bound morphemes, we have the roots. For example, sieve. Now, the free morphemes, they're called free because they don't need something around them to have a meaning. So we have open class, like content words, cute, dog, run, away. So they have a meaning on their own. They don't need anything else. We know what cute is. We know what dog is. They are content words because they have a meaning. Now we have the closed class, the function words, the, on, yet, he, you see. We have articles, we have prepositions, we have pronouns. They have a meaning, they have a function. Okay, so these are the free morphemes. Now, when we talk about affixation, the affixation process is basically what you see here. We have a root word or a stem, and we may add a prefix or a suffix to it. Let me make this bigger. This is a summary of what I was talking about. We have free and bound morphemes, derivational, inflectional, prefixes, suffixes. Free morphemes can stand alone as a known word, like dog, gentle, picture, gem. And the bound morphemes, they are divided. Derivational, inflectional, prefixes, suffixes. We also have the infixes. Although they do not exist in standard English. They are not really common. Basically, they go in the middle of a word. Prefixes, they go in the beginning. Suffixes, they go at the end. Infixes, they go like in the middle. Basically, what they do is to change a word, and they act as a replacement. For example, they occur in a few nouns, plural. For example, goose becomes geese. This change, the double E, would be the infix. Same case with foot and feet, the irregular plurals. Same here. We have the verb choose with double O, but in past we say chose, so it's only one O. It is replacing the double O. That is an infix. So they're not really common, and I'm not going to ask you to identify them during our exercises further on this subject, but it's important for you to know. Now, the prefixes. Basically, they are a word part added in front of a base word to change the meaning. Take a look at this example. Imagine this is, I don't know, Dumbledore and Gandalf, maybe. We have the word dislike. So this would be the prefix, and the root or the original word, the stem, would be like. There are many prefixes. These are some just examples, and I encourage you to look for more, okay? We have the prefix, the meaning they add to the word. For example, okay, the and this, they mean opposite of or not. Depose, detour, dehydrated, discord, discomfort, disengage, and so on. Please look for more prefixes so it will be easier for you. I mean, you don't have to learn all of them, but you have to be able to identify them. You can also pause the video and take notes about this. The inflectional affixes, here you have, it's only these 9 ones you see here. They go from the plural form to the superlative form. The EST in the word bold, say the boldest. Soon, soonest. We also have the one for the comparative, which is the ER marker. The D for the past participle. Same for the simple past or past tense, the famous ED. The ING is another common one. The S for the third person singular, in present tense, of course. The plural possessive, the simple possessive, the singular, sorry, singular possessive. These are the only inflectional affixes that exist in the English language. So pause the video, take notes. So, to sum up, inflectional affixes differ from the derivational suffixes in the following ways. The inflectional suffixes do not change the part of speech. So if I add an S to the word sled, they are both nouns. I'm just pluralizing the word. That's what it means. Inflection, no change. They always come last in a word. Shortened, villainies, industrializing. They go with all stems of a given part of speech. He eats, he dreams, motivates. They do not pile up. Only one ends a word. You cannot have several of them together. Flakes, you cannot say flakes-er, flakes-er, I know, higher-sir, I don't know, whatever you're thinking about, but they cannot pile up at the end of a word. Now, the derivational suffixes, this changes everything. They change the meaning of a word when we add them, of course, at the end. For example, if we have the derivational suffix "eri," we add it to the word slave, slavery. Okay, these are abstract noun markers. For concrete noun markers, we have the ER, the ESS, the LET. Remember, for example, the word book could also be a verb. But if we say booklet, it's a noun. Also, when we make nouns from verbs, we have the verb refuse. It normally ends in an "e." But when we add the derivational suffix "all," it becomes into the noun refusal, and so on. You can, of course, pause the video and take notes. I really encourage you to do that. So, characteristics of derivational suffixes. They combine with an arbitrary matter. I mean, it doesn't matter. If we have the verb adorn, we must add the suffix "ment" to have the word adornment. We cannot use another suffix with the verb adorn and have the same result. For example, you cannot say, this is just a silly example, you cannot say adorner. I don't know, just making up a silly word to explain my point. In many cases, they change the part of speech. For example, you have the adjective happy, if you add the derivational suffix ly, happily, so instead of an adjective, you have an adverb. And they do not close off a word. Derivational suffixes, they can be piled up. We have the word fertilize. It already ends in a derivational suffix. And we can add another one, fertilizer. Same thing with the plurals, fertilizers. You see, we already had the ER, and now we add another one, fertilizers. So that's the main characteristic of the derivational suffixes. For the review time, there are some key definitions. What a morpheme is. We have two definitions. What inflection and derivation is, both processes. Bound free morphemes. I encourage you to pause the video so that you can take notes. Please do that. Please do that. And this is the exercise I proposed at the end of the meeting. I think I sent it to the WhatsApp group. If not, I'm going to do it right away. And if you don't have it, pause the video and solve it. We will start our Saturday meeting solving this exercise, okay? So, is this the end? I don't think so. See you next Saturday, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Venezuelan Standard Time. And please, please, please read about parts of speech, noun, adjective, adverb, conjunctions, so that Saturday meeting flows smoothly. Thank you for being here. See you on Saturday. Bye-bye.